Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the third episode of The Lives of Others. I'm Anushri Raizada, and today I'll be joined by four movie lovers Anna, Sukirti, Vaishali, and Parithi. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hi.
Hi.
Marriage is often considered the final destination of love. But what goes behind a fat Indian wedding is an army of friends, family, and multiple emotions. Today, we'll be reviewing a film that revolves around the same concept Monsoon Wedding, directed by Mira Nair and has a multi star cast of extremely talented actors from the industry. Over to Anna.
This is a romantic comedy which revolves around the importance of marriage in Indian culture. Marriage is seen as two families joining together and is a duty and privilege by the bride and groom that will bring prosperity, posterity, and grandchildren to the families. Marriage is also believed to be a one time event, so families tend to go all out, and we can see the chaos of the marriage, chaos around the house, and most importantly, the chaos it is bringing out in their personal lives. Music and dance dominates the festivities of the wedding, and also through the music we can see the emotional baggage of each character.
Talking about the diegetic concept of it, the examples being the marriage music and the traffic sounds, etc., and the non-diegetic being the other composed music by the famous composer Michael Dana. I think the whole point of it revolves around the concept of arranged marriages and how excited can someone be to be married to a stranger. I think that's the irony of it.
moving on to the characters. Aditi, at the beginning of the movie, agrees to an arranged marriage which is fixed by her father. However, she continues to be in an extramarital affair after her engagement with Hemant.
Um, Next, we move on to Rhea, prefacing her story with a trigger warning for sexual abuse and pedophilia. Her story is based on her being a sexual abuse survivor, and that too as a child. She is silenced, and this culturally bred passiveness does more harm. I guess too late when we get to know about Alaya. We know that this is so prominent because Tej is still a part of the family, and she is called a heretic and slapped when she finally breaks her silence. Something about her being unmarried is thrown around to Indian culture indeed, I guess.
Aisha is only 17 but quite precocious and was in a relationship with Rahul which was based mainly on teenage lust.
And when we speak about Varun, he is trying to figure out where he fits and still doesn't compromise himself. His interests lie in the creative side, i.e., cooking. As the second kid and the only boy of the family, his the expectations that lie on his shoulder, are barricaded. And his father wants his younger son to quote unquote be a manly man. And this is run parallelly to how his mother treats him. And she coddles him to cope with her elder kid leaving. And his father wants to send him through a boarding school to quote unquote set him straight.
Lalit is the father of the bride, and there's a lot of pressure on him to arrange the perfect marriage for his only daughter.
And with all these stories running parallelly alongside each other, Lalit is a common variable, and one of the many stories that he kickstarted was PK Dubey and Alice's.
PK Dubey's and Alice's story was one of my favorite parts of the entire movie. Oh god, their innocent love hidden under the greater and grander theme of what's happening. It was just too cute. They didn't actually own the celebration and it wasn't theirs to celebrate, but yet they got married while the actual wedding was going on.
Exactly, it was so sweet. I mean, the most they could do was celebrate themselves with each other as a part of the greater, grander scheme of things.
This is also an allegory to the underprivileged society like in Bong Joon-ho's movie Parasite.
One prominent aspect in the film was the eyeline matching, which we see between Alice and PK. When Alice is cleaning the room and she tries Aditi's jewelry just to see how she looks as a bride, PK is staring at her and he's longing for her, unable to quench his curiosity with his simple staring. Another cinematographic aspect in the film was framing of the scenes where Alice is picking glasses and finds a marigold. She picks it up and puts it behind her ears. At the same time, flowers fall on PK and he eats it.
Overall, Aisha is presented as a very Netflix interpretation where she's portrayed to be much older than she was. Lalit plays into the cultural norms, and there's a facade of forwardness in this heteronormative marriage. This movie is quite uncensored in terms of other Indian films, and yet it puts forward a meta argument. The characters are more human like, and the story is more relatable. There's framing also in the conclusion of the film when there's a family photo shoot and the tension that builds when Ria is asked to sit near Tej's feet, but it eventually breaks when Lalit dismisses Tej from the marriage and the family.
Okay, so I think this movie was a good watch and calls for a 9 on the scale of Lucky Lemons.
Completely agreed.
Agree.
And now that brings us to the end of this podcast. We'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned and keep listening to this one on loop. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.